We've all been there, right? Standing at a crossroads in life, wondering which way to go. Do you pull out a map, plot every single turn, and plan for every possibility? Or do you just trust your gut and take that leap of faith? Well, today, we're going to dive right into that exact question.
This is really the big question, isn't it? Are you a blueprint person who needs every single detail planned out? Or do you run on gut feeling, letting your intuition be your guide? Let's see what happens when we really put these two approaches side by side.
All right, here's the plan for our little journey today. We're going to start with the two big questions that got this whole thing started. Then we'll get into the fun stuff, the clash between planners and dreamers. We'll see how they define success differently, and then, and this is the cool part, we'll find where they actually agree. And finally, we'll bring it all back to you.
So, all of this actually started in a classroom. A group of students was given an assignment to answer one of two pretty deep questions about life. And their answers, well, they revealed two totally different ways of looking at the world.
Let's dig into that first question. It was pretty practical. What advice would you give a friend who's thinking about changing jobs? And almost immediately, the class split right down the middle into two distinct camps. We're calling them the planners and the dreamers.
And this is where you really see the difference. On one side, you've got the planners. Their advice is all about logic, strategy, making sure the numbers add up. Then you've got the dreamers. They go straight for the heart, passion, gut feelings, and what truly makes you happy.
Okay, this advice from Silmara. It is pure planner. She's all about hitting the pause button. Think about the money, be patient, analyze everything. She's basically saying, don't you dare jump without looking. It's all about that careful, calculated move.
And then you have Norma. Talk about a different vibe. She says the best thing in life is to find a job that's about love and motivation. For her, it's not about a spreadsheet. It's about opening your eyes and chasing what you're truly passionate about.
This right here is the planner's playbook. One student, Carlos, actually laid out the entire SMART goal framework. I mean, it's practically a scientific formula for changing your career. Every single step is designed to make the process logical, clear, and totally trackable.
But the dreamers, they weren't building frameworks. Nope. They were asking these huge, soul-searching questions. Ariana boils the whole entire decision down to this one thing. For her, you don't find the answer on a to-do list. You find it by figuring out what truly matters to you deep down.
Okay, let's switch gears to that second big question. How does this whole planner versus dreamer thing play out when we're talking about success? Students were asked to define what success means to them. And yep, you guessed it, another fascinating split. This time between people who see success as a destination and those who see it as a journey.
We're calling these two groups the achievers and the philosophers. For the achievers, success is all about hitting those big milestones, right? It's a target you reach. But for the philosophers, success is more of a feeling, an internal state of being. It's about how you live your life.
This slide is the achiever's mindset in a nutshell. It's like a checklist for a successful life. Students like Gabi and Gustavo Eckley listed these really concrete, tangible goals. Buy a car, own a business, be financially independent. For them, success is something you can literally point to and say, I did that.
But then you look at the philosophers list, and it's a world away from that checklist. For students like Jefferson and Mateus, success isn't about what you have, it's about who you are. It's about giving your best, knowing your purpose, and, I love this one from Jefferson, being happy in each step. It's a completely internal scorecard.
And wow, this quote from Mateus just hits so hard. He says success isn't about having a problem-free life. It's about the problems you face and how you fight through them. For him, success is really just another word for resilience. It's about the fight, not just the win.
So we've got planners versus dreamers, achievers versus philosophers. It seems like these are two groups of people from different planets, right? But if you dig a little deeper, you start to see something really interesting. They actually agree on a lot.
And here's what's so amazing. These values, they came from students in all the camps. Whether they were dreamers talking about passion or achievers talking about goals, they all came back to things like hard work, family, and taking time to reflect. Heck, even the biggest dreamers admitted that, a little bit of a plan is probably a good idea. So the huge takeaway here seems to be that these two paths aren't totally separate. It doesn't matter if you're executing a meticulous 5-year plan or chasing a wild dream. It seems like these core values, these foundations, are what really hold the whole thing up.
Which of course brings us right back to where we started. After looking at all these different perspectives, it's time to turn the camera back around on ourselves. How do we take all this and build our own definition of what a good life looks like?
Because ultimately, this is what it's all about. There's no winner in the planner versus dreamer debate. The real secret is just understanding which one you are. Are you someone who gets fired up by a detailed plan? Or are you someone who's moved by a big, bold vision? Knowing that about yourself, that's the key to building a life that actually feels like your own.
And so, I'll leave you with this to think about. When it's all said and done, what really matters more? The destination you're trying to reach or the journey itself? The answer to that question, well, that might just be your personal blueprint.